What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Gamers at Large Midweek Show for October 14th, 2015. Sorry for the late start, but we got the regular crew here. It's the Chocolate Cast tonight.
Chocolate City.
And first
So
up, we got
smooth,
Shep.
so creamy, so delicious. Oh, what? Oh, sorry. You can hear
Wow.
Wow.
Seriously,
What?
dude?
Shep forgot to take his medication. He forgot to take his
me. It
medication.
was supposed to be mute.
Shep forgot his Adderall tonight. So.
Oh man.
Shh. You're not supposed to know how unstable I am.
Do your intro.
A
Oh,
little too
yes.
late.
Wait. Oh,
We're on the air here.
yes, we're live. So, good night, peoples. This is Good Shepherd, your ADHD specialist, and let's get it in, yo.
All right, T.
Hey there, fools. Mr. T, how y'all doing?
And Andre.
I'm just gonna say hi everyone and try to be somewhat normal tonight because when me and Shep are together in the cast,
Lies.
it gets to be a little bit of a problem because I spur on his spasticness.
Yes, you do.
You're so full of it.
So, first up, we got to get into this EA Star Wars Battlefront $50 DLC season pass. No story campaign, no story mode, no voice chat, and a $50 season pass.
Firstly,
Go.
I would like to go first.
Yo, you want to go first? Have at it.
I'll
I'll say my piece last.
mine's probably gonna be short, so that's why I'm gonna go first.
Okay.
Okay, no voice chatting game. I want to see people picketing and boycotting this because of what happened earlier this year. Whether you are going to get the game or not, because a lot of people there he goes. A lot of people who were not going to get Splatoon picketed and said they were boycotting. You can't boycott something you're not going to get anyway. But the season pass. Oh gosh.
See, he's mad too. He don't like it either.
The season pass thing. If it doesn't feel like it was stripped from the game for those who play it, then it's okay. But if it's like there's stuff that seems like it's missing from the game, like Destiny, y'all better like be messaging EA, writing letters, get some discounts or something. But that's all I got to say.
Okay. Shadow, you want to do your intro?
No, I don't need one. Everybody know who I am.
All right, cool.
In the shadows.
Well, since we talking
Conceited
about
like a mother.
EA Battlefront thing, you want to give your thoughts on it?
Well, I think I already kind of did on Google Plus, and the hit dogs are already hollering. But the irony is just real. I don't think anybody could have put it any better than Dr. Trey did at that point. It is what it is. Like several people this past summer went on rants and tirades about how a certain Nintendo property should have voice chat and should be able to do these modern things, and it's 2015, so we should have voice chat. Online multiplayer should be there because it's 2015 and all these other things. And these certain individuals, I've spoken to them either via comments over Google Plus or live in Hangouts or just back and forth some type of way. And the first thing I mentioned to them is, first of all, not every game has voice chat, no matter what platform you're on. Depending on what type of game it is, you'll have stuff like, I don't know, the Demon Souls series, Dark Souls, whatever you want to call it or whatever, where their multiplayer is kind of a little bit different from the norm, if you will. And the communication options are limited for a reason. The same way they are for other games like Monster Hunter and stuff like that. Like, depending on the game and depending on what the developer's vision is, it's going to vary. And since there are no established standards in the video game industry, with the exception of game ratings, it's the Wild West. Every game is like, well, we're going to do our own servers, or we're going to use EA servers, or we'll try to pay for a piece of Microsoft's cloud stuff for Xbox Live, and you get bits and pieces of an experience all over the place. Some people use Havoc, some people use DirectX, some people use OpenGL, some people use, whatever kind of motion capture software, some people use renderware, some people use Bink Video. Shit's all over the place. And since there are no established standards and there's no guidelines, no ratified anything, they're going to continue to be different. And what some of these people don't realize is that since they're blind to their opinion and what they choose to purchase and what they see, they don't understand how drastic it is across the spectrum. Like, all these games are different.
But
They all are.
I thought it was a standard. It's 2015.
And I'll say it again, just like I said on Poppy 2K's podcast. That is a very nice opinion to have. That is a collective opinion of people instead of a standard.
My good man, are you insinuating that there are hypocrites in this community?
Possibly, especially if they
Lies.
damn one thing for having something, and then they're okay, and they still want to play Battlefront, missing the very things that they damned the other game for. How dare they?
No, I just want to say that it's not good enough just to cancel your pre-order. You got to go on video tirade after video tirade. That would be fair.
Oh, come on, man. But the blow was softened because I wasn't extremely irate and yelling and screaming and waving my katana around because this happened. I was just like, I'm really sad. It's okay.
I want to see collective movements, man.
Yeah. Let's do a redirect. Or what they call it? Yeah. We're gonna blame it on Microsoft and Sony, right? That's what we're gonna do. Are we gonna? Because Microsoft owns the PC market as well, so blame it on Microsoft and Sony. Let's do let's do a redirect for Microsoft and a redirect for Sony for allowing EA to do this crap.
How dare they allow them to do this to the consumer?
The platform holders are responsible for third parties. Apparently, Nintendo is.
Yeah,
Nintendo's responsible for third parties.
Wait. How dare you, gentlemen, hold these people to this standards? How dare you insinuate that this is bad business?
What better standard than they
Be
don't?
ashamed of yourselves.
No, for real, seriously. Like, if people.
Go re-up your Origin account.
This is what I don't understand. It's not gonna make the game that much less fun. Like,
it's really not.
Come on, man, get off your high horse. Play the damn game, have fun with it, and keep it moving. Like, it's different. Deal with it. Like many people said, you still have cross game chat, right? So you can deal with it that way. Most of you complaining have access to Google Hangouts, so I don't know what the fuck the problem is. Excuse my French. Just like I don't know what the problem was when you couldn't do it with Splatoon. Like, really? Like, you're complaining on the very platform that will solve your problem. Are we done yet?
Hey, I'm just saying. Like,
Because all I was gonna say was this:
consistency is all I'm asking for.
Like, my thing was when people were getting mad about the whole $50. I'm like, you do realize DLC is optional,
right? I don't have a problem with it being $50.
You don't have to get that season pass if you don't want to.
I don't have a problem with the season pass at all.
My only issue is as long as the main game, though. That's what matters. The main game.
This is why. Go ahead and put it out there, Shep. This is why. You done?
Oh, you actually want me to talk?
Yeah, just go ahead. Explain why? Because we talked about it a little bit before we got on. So explain why. What are the stipulations as far as the cost of the DLC?
Well, it's simple. If the main game is unaffected by the DLC, because DLC is technically supposed to be extra content. So if the main game is well fleshed out, well played, everything's fine, you're good. DLC is supposed to extend the game. So you don't have to buy the DLC. You shouldn't have to. Now, if it's mandatory to buy the DLC, then yeah, that's bullshit, and you need to start raising your redirects and controlled alt, and all that good stuff.
Well, because
Windows PCs, man.
Right, because DLC. This isn't the first $50. What do you call it? Season pass.
No.
EA was acting like this is the first time we had a $50 season pass ever or something.
Yeah, and the whole thing is this. Even then, $50. Now this is weird coming from me, and I'm not recommending this, but if they actually create enough content and it's well done, it might actually be worth it.
Here's the other deal. If they're giving you, if you have to pay for DLC and you don't like the season pass thing, then just get pocket raped and buy what you want for a significantly larger margin piecemeal.
Yeah.
If you want it, because you speak with your wallet, right? So, and if a lot more people do it that way, hell, they're gonna think they're making more money that way and get rid of the season pass altogether anyway. So none of that stupid shit would be happening anymore. Right. So granted, it's probably worse off for the consumer, but if that's what we're complaining about, there's more than one way to look at this. But the way that I see this is, people just like to complain.
Mm.
Exactly. Oh my God.
It's like nothing makes you happy. There are not enough releases on X platform, even though, oh my God, I have all 3 of them. So why the fuck would I ever have a problem with releases?
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not going to complain about there not being that much first-party content on the PlayStation 4. I have plenty of first-party content on 2 other platforms, and I shouldn't have any issues with third-party content on Wii U because I have third-party content on other platforms. And if all of you are multi-platform owners like y'all claim to be because y'all don't want to be fanboys, what the fuck's the problem?
This is what happens when you're a decades-long multi-console owner. Like,
there you go.
That stuff doesn't bother you because, hey, okay, I'll go to this console when there's nothing over here on this one, and I'll move on to the next console. Because you can't play. I don't think you want to play them all at the same time. Like,
some people claim to.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if they're having fun. Like, if you're beating the game in like 2 or 3 days and you're on to the next one, did you really enjoy it?
No. I'll answer
just beat it to say I beat it.
Yeah, I'll answer that for you. You're not enjoying yourself.
You can't. I don't see how. I just don't see how.
Especially if you're talking about you playing something like an RPG or something like that. Hell no, you ain't enjoy yourself.
Yeah, here's my challenge to everybody that is probably going to be against everything that we're saying right now. If you're complaining about a game's campaign being anywhere between 4 to 20 hours long, I want you to work an 8-hour job. I want you to have a responsibility other than for yourself, and then tell me that you still have plenty of time to play several other games, and therefore that is a bad experience to you and it's not worth your money. Because by all intents and purposes, you probably shouldn't have bought that game. It's not for you. What you should be doing is, I don't know, while you're also in that basement where you keep all these games and you play them, you should just buy a shitload of Japanese RPGs and a shitload of MMOs and just play those all day. That's what it sounds like to me, because if you want more bang for your buck, or just complete every task in Skyrim or something. Yeah. But nobody ever does that when you look on your friend list, so...
Whoa, Black Rage, calm down.
I'm sorry.
You just shot a bunch of missiles and shit just now, man. Come on, bro.
I'm expressing a little bit of.
I mean, for the record, I don't disagree with you. I'm just saying you were a little aggressive. That's all I'm saying. I completely condone it, for the record. But,
this is the 8-year-old that wants every Lego set known to man. Basically, this is the problem. You're never going to have enough time to put all those damn things together. You probably don't have the capacity to put all of them together, but you want them because they exist.
Ouch.
Because you look over here and those guys over there got it. Why can't I have it over here on my box?
Reverend Fox just laid down some knowledge.
I'm sorry.
Boy, did he. And my disappointment with Star Wars Battlefront is not the DLC cost or the voice chat lacking. If I have any disappointment, it is the fears that I had about the game coming to fruition that I had beforehand, like lack of content over previous versions of the game, because I can look at my Battlefront for Xbox, the original OG, and I'm looking at 16 planets versus 4. I'm looking at being able to go from land to sky to space seamlessly, and these are things that I could do 10, 13 years ago.
That's a question I kind of want to ask right now, and I don't know if that's one of the topics we have listed. Is that going to be our future? Because like us, we're used to that kind of content, and it seems like that's not going to happen anymore. So
for stripping down more and more.
Yeah. So are we going to start seeing like, I don't know, 10-hour Zelda games, and I don't know, the next Tales game will only be like 8 hours, and it'll only have 2 characters.
You gotta remember now, this is EA and DICE. This ain't EAD.
Well, EA and DICE used to do better. Well, I don't know about DICE, but EA used to put content in their games. I think the problem is, the funny thing is, the problem today with video games today is the technology. That we have all this power, and we spend so much time worrying about the visuals and making sure it's realistic, and not enough time providing content in the actual game itself.
Yeah.
And because you got to get that that casual consumer to just look at that screen, look how pretty that looks. That looks like Star Wars. It looks like the real thing, and you make that purchase. The casual consumer, they don't think about the things that we think about. They don't think about, oh my God, the DLC, and oh my God, this voice chat, all these issues. We are a small minority in gaming, the hardcore, quote unquote, hardcore gamer. The casual consumer is the one that buys, and this is not, this is not to make casual a derogatory term like it is in, this community. It seems like people use it derogatorily, but I'm just saying the casual consumer is the one who spends the most money in the industry, and they don't think about all these little minute details like we do, the guys who grew up video gaming, So that's who they're catering to. We can get mad all we want about all these things, but they know at the end of the day, it's Star Wars, it's a Star Wars game, and the casual consumer is going to go in there and say, I want to play the Star Wars game. That's all they care about.
Brand.
Right. It's that brand. It's all about the branding. So, no.
Well, to your point, Shadow, I don't think like certain stuff, like I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna sound pretty weird, but like stuff like Tales and Zelda, like I don't think they would ever shrimp on the content for those. Like games like that, I don't think because those are like, I just don't see a world where Namco would just say, we're just gonna release a 15-hour Tales game. I don't see that.
Now, to be fair, I was being extremely facetious there because that wouldn't work. But at one point in time, we thought something like what's happening to, even Battlefield and the new Star Wars game, Battlefront or whatever, and Call of Duty even, we didn't think those were going to end up being short. At one point in time, though, the single-player game was the focus. Like, I don't know if y'all remember way back in the Medal of Honor days, like the multiplayer was second fiddle.
It was a bonus.
But see, now that's the change in mind frame, because of the simple fact that, remember, we went from the single player and local couch co-op to everybody. I don't have any friends. All my friends don't live near me, so I need all my stuff online.
But it's not only that. This is the beauty of it. It's not only the fact that people act like they don't have friends in their local areas anymore. The thing is that video gamers don't want to spend too much time in actual playing video games. They want that quick hit. I'm gonna run in, I'm gonna shoot a bunch of people, and I'm out. They don't want to deal with the story and having to go through an actual game anymore. They just want. That's why multiplayer today is so much emphasis on it, because it's a quick experience. You can drop in, drop out.
I got a quick fix for that. It's called an iPhone. Download whatever the hell you want. You can take it wherever you want, and you can play whatever you want for 2, 3, 5 minutes. Close it, answer a call, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
That answers that. Done.
No. Let's clear it up. You don't need an iPhone, just a smartphone, period.
Yes. This is fair. Get your Symbian phone and your Android phone.
There you go.
Master race.
I was sitting there, and I had my tablet, my phone, and my PSP out at the same time. For about 20 minutes.
Android lag.
Mega game.
Okay.
Don't hate.
I think we done pretty much nailed this one. I think we done nailed this topic. So let's move on to something a little bit more brighter, all right? And Shadow, I'm glad you're in here for this one, because this is kind of aimed for you and me, basically.
That's why I'm here.
Halo 5 has an install size of 60 gigs.
Oh.
Now,
Gotta love it.
me personally, I only have 15% left free on my Xbox One. So that means I'm going to need to get an external hard drive. Now, there are a few ones that are actually known to work well with the Xbox One, and I'm just going to go through a couple of these, but it's Toshiba, Seagate, and Western Digital are the ones that are known to work well.
Okay,
Now, me personally, I'm probably going to go with like a 2 terabyte. Shadow, what would you suggest? 2 or 4? What would you suggest?
I think 2 is safe right about now. However, they're more expensive. You get more as far as cost per gig. You get more for your buck if you buy 1 terabyte right now. They can be had as low as $50-something in some outlets. So and that includes the name brands that you mentioned. The ones that I'm going to recommend are the Seagate Momentous 7200 RPM drives, and the Western Digital Blue, if you can afford it, or Western Digital Black 1 terabyte hard drive. Now, that being said, I'm kind of a fan of low noise in my gaming environment and my office environment, because my office is also my man cave. So if at all possible, I want all my hard drives to be 2.5 inch instead of the full 3.5, because those things are loud and they make a lot of clickety clack. If you can get the little laptop drive, throw it in an enclosure, and then just hook that up USB 3 and keep it moving, you'll have a much more quiet environment. The video I made about hooking 2 drives up to the Wii U, that's all I have. I have 2.5 inch terabyte drives hooked up to USB 2 enclosures. The USB 2 enclosure, you can get it for like $5 on Mono Price Watch. Insert vendor here, Amazon, whatever. Tiger Direct, whatever. You can get all those kind of different things. And literally, I would imagine most people that are on Google Plus or that follow us any other type of way, you're slightly nerd somehow. So I would imagine you know how to open a SATA enclosure and plug a SATA drive into that enclosure and then screw it together. And then you take the USB cable and you plug it to your device. That should not be, or if you want to go all the way, you can open your system to the bay that is exposed on the inside of the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4, and you can drop your 2.5 inch drive there, and the system will recognize it. The only downside to that is there are specific timings for the drives that came with these platforms, so you're not going to get the same performance. So I would recommend that you keep the stock drive in there, and you plug a external drive to the USB port, and you just have all your downloads there. And what I would do is make sure that you move files from the external drive to the internal drive for games that you're going to be playing, and kind of prioritize them that way. And I do the same thing on the Wii U as well. If it's going to be a big third party or first party release or disc release that I downloaded from eShop, there's only like maybe 2 or 3 games or whatever on the Wii U, I would make sure I move it to the 32 gigs and play the game from there versus leaving it on the hard drive. And then when I'm done, I will move it back to the hard drive just in case. Usually the way the Wii U is designed, like the disk drive is going to be way faster than everything else running anyway, because it's kind of segmented. But on the PlayStation 4, specifically, it's going to try to run that game directly from the drive if it could. So you may run into some performance issues or performance increases depending on what type of drive you add in there. So you throw an SSD in there, the load times might actually go down a little bit, just depending. But don't expect it to be stable, because games are games, and they're expecting that platform to have a spinning, rotating drive in it. And when that lag from the spinning, rotating drive isn't there, the closer you get to the center of the drive, the lag that they anticipated from the drive isn't going to be there, so it's going to complete, and then you're waiting for the next instruction, and it isn't there yet. So that sounds like a lot, but
I thought this was going to be a lighter topic.
I'm sorry,
because this is opening up fresh wounds with my Xbox One issue.
I'm like,
the reason why I brought it up,
and then you guys, I mean, I have to say it, I won't curse, but WTFF.
The reason why I brought it up was because it's one of those situations where I know that me personally, I'm running out of space, and if I'm running out of space, I know other people are running out of space.
Yep.
So it's one of those situations. I would rather have people be prepared and hear from us than
getting the 1 terabyte version.
If you have all these games that you have that you don't have time, you need to play these games. Because you can't have a system without 19 AAA games over the holiday season. Well, you need hard drive space for that. I mean, if you have more than 7 third-party games on Xbox One, you're probably looking at knocking at around 90% on your disk space already.
Which is what I'm looking at.
Yeah. And the same is going to hold true for the PS4 for the most part. If that's your primary platform as well, there is no compression on these games, man. If it is, they're absolute balls in comparison to some of the compression done elsewhere. So there are PC downloads that are smaller than this. It's crazy. So I don't know exactly how or what kind of expanding they're doing once all this stuff is unpacked, but it's just bananas to see how big some of this stuff gets. Like 90-something gigs for one title? Come on, man.
Or coming close to it.
Yeah. So hey guys, stock up on your drives. Get a whole bunch of 1 terabyte drives for Christmas. You might need that more than the actual games.
I'm looking at. it just drives me nuts that I have to already buy an external hard drive for a 500 gigabyte console. That's just that comes with a 500 gigabyte hard drive. That just doesn't and it's not really that, because when you actually get it, it's more like 320 gigs.
Mr. T,
right.
am I allowed to say I told you so? or better yet, Reggie told you so. When people quiz him on the 32 gigs, and he's
right,
like,
I was gonna say they get on the 32 gig Wii U, but it's like you're not using that for games unless you're downloading, actually downloading games from the eShop.
And
that's the only time you're gonna need external. Yeah.
Even then, it took me up until like March of this year to finally
it took me until
32.
Yeah, I didn't start actually using my actual drive. I would put stuff on there, but I didn't need to. I still have 10 gigs of that 32, by the way. I have 45 retail games for my Wii U, and I have 10 gigs of space still left on the flash memory. And all my most of the downloads that I have are, indie titles, and I put those on my hard drive. But my point is, I don't have any games downloaded, and I mean downloaded from Microsoft Store on my Xbox One. These are games I have to install. That I actually have a disc.
Right, so are you saying that Microsoft is using their disk as a form of
No, I just think it's lazy.
Without anybody realizing that the fact that these disks are simply...
the disc is just a product key. It's just a product key.
That's all it is.
Yes, it's just key.
So... I mean, if you're gonna complain about, you gotta complain about both. You can't just complain about the flash memory, the little bit of flash memory on the Wii U, and just completely grease over that. You by the time you have 6 games on your Xbox One, you're damn near full on your hard drive.
Yeah, you're tapped out basically.
And it's ridiculous. You have to buy an external. I mean, so we're talking about value. What about I'm gonna have to buy an external, for a console that didn't come with any game. It was $350.
That's some bullshit. I'm sorry.
It came with no game. And then I have to buy an external hard drive when I get to 6 games. That's that's $450 almost. That's $420, $430.
And Lord forbid you go to GameStop and buy the Xbox branded hard drive.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, they hit you in the head. $200, $129. Yeah.
So we're at $420, and then you add in I got to play online multiplayer, so that's $50.
Yeah, that's not free.
A year. So that's another that's $500. And then you can start playing.
Hold on, well you could do like somebody else on Google Plus told me, that's only like $5 a month. Like, really? Nah.
They let you pay like that?
Yeah, no, I don't think they do.
I have to put down, $40 at least on a card or more, so.
Yeah. But Halo though, I expected Halo to be that big.
That's a lot, man.
Yeah, I expected it to. And like I said, I'm actually looking forward to that game. I just know that I know what I have to do so I can actually play it, because I'm not deleting none of my space because I'm trying to build my gaming library back up.
Why do you have to be owned by Microsoft?
Because Bungie did what they did, because Maybe Apple wasn't giving them enough money. I guess I
Yeah, it
don't
wasn't
know.
happening on the Apple side at that point.
Yeah.
Apple was kind of broke
Yeah.
around that time. So
Yeah, I think they kind of went to. I think they betted on the Power Mac being
Oh, wait.
a vehicle for
Is
Go
well,
ahead, Show.
Halo and Killer Instinct. There's no PC version, is there?
But
Killer
Killer
Instinct
Instinct
got
does.
one.
Killer Instinct is getting one.
Yeah, Killer Instinct got because they got one for at the end of season 1.
there's no
You
PC
know what?
Halo.
Not that I'm aware of.
Not yet.
It's probably
Halo
going
2 is the last one.
Yeah, it's 9 out of 10 is probably going to get one because they're
No,
trying
that's
to
what I meant. I meant like
Windows 10.
previous versions. There's been Halo on PC.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't mind me. I'm in denial. I'm
I
just
can't
gonna
remember.
I'm just gonna have to get my system.
Halo
in
1 and
November.
Halo 2.
I already got it pre-ordered and everything. It's whatever.
No,
Yeah, it's not coming to Windows 10. At least not yet.
Yeah,
Not yet.
The joys of trying to be a gamer that loves playing on everything. You bastards.
So there's no one box that you can only just buy that one box and you'd be satisfied as a gamer? And how does that work?
Well, I
You
mean,
have to
if
buy
you're,
multiple boxes?
if you're a delusional fanboy, you could play on one box.
Yeah, it's
No, that's a lie. No, I can't say fanboy, because if you have really specific taste, you could technically get away just fine.
Yeah, or you can't afford it. Well, I'm getting at the people who do have the funds and who do have multiple boxes, but still complain about why this isn't over there too. It's like, what? You're gonna buy it twice? Are you gonna buy that game twice? I mean,
I'm trying to figure out how you can complain about all these games not having enough releases, not being able to do this, not being able to do that. How you can't do online multiplayer. So you're paying for two $50 a year online services. You're playing MMOs. You have the Wii U and complain about it, but you buy every release that comes out and you're streaming it and stuff like that, right? You have a gaming PC and you have a Steam account, but you don't have a job. Your career is YouTube. I don't. Somebody please tell me how that math works out.
it's called government.
I don't even. I don't.
Whoa.
I'm gonna be real. I don't even think PewDiePie could afford to do that for long, because after a while, the costs are gonna start setting in.
PewDiePie can afford it. I would think.
PewDiePie is a bad example.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I put it this way: the royalties. Perhaps there are more image things that he probably can get in addition to that. I'm talking about a check directly from YouTube based on what you're actually getting as far as hits coming in. I don't think it's that much. Even with millions and millions of views, your percentage is still really low compared to that. And you're not making you're not making 100K. Let's put it that way. You're not making 100K even if you're making millions.
I make that. I make that a month on my channel.
Yeah. Sure. By 100K, we're talking in pennies, right?
Not even
but
100,000 pennies.
You have to understand that by being a YouTuber of that caliber, you have more freedom socially than the regular person who works day to day.
Yeah, but I'm talking more like. Just
and then of course,
speaking.
and then of course you get the hookups. You get the occasional free games or games at a discounted price. So you can't. I get what you're trying to say, and you're mostly right, but you can make it work if you're savvy enough, you know.
Yeah, and that will, but that's at the cost of your basically your morals at that point. Because then
gamers have no morals. Have you not seen the social justice movement?
This is true.
No, man, that's a movement in morality. What you talking about?
Hold on, let me tell you about this capture card, man. It's the best capture card ever because they just sent it to me. Hold on now. Check out my review. Oh,
There's
man.
too much of that on this website. There's way too much of that on this website.
They gonna kill us for this one.
All right, let's move on to brighter things.
Hey,
all right, so we haven't heard from Andre in a while. Andre's
on MBT.
I believe he's fighting the Chirins right now.
He might be fighting the Chirins.
I would say, what do they call it? Indoor parade day? Ain't that right, Shep? Indoor parade day. Got it going.
The rumor about the Twilight Princess HD, and is it really that serious?
I haven't heard this rumor. Please, somebody mull it over for me.
Apparently, some data miners found a.
Oh, you're talking about the Game Explained stuff. Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
They found the logo for Twilight Princess. The one with the half of the poster was the wolf and the other half was Link's face.
The original one from way back when.
Yeah, the original.
Was announced.
The original.
Yeah.
It was probably like a 125 by 300 image.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was like 2004, but okay.
Yeah. So after doing some, they found that in the eShop. So apparently after doing some more digging, they found a listing for like Twilight Princess HD.
Mm-hmm.
Now, back when they did, back in 2013, when they were interviewing Al Numa about the Wind Waker HD, remember how everybody got mad about the whole, it only took them 6 months, and they were like, that could have been time that was spent toward Zelda U, but they couldn't find out that Al Numa's team didn't even work on Wind Waker.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, the rumor was the next HD release they were going to do was Twilight Princess.
Mm-hmm.
And that was in 2013.
Yeah.
Well, I don't.
They were probably working on it this whole time.
Say I wouldn't confirm either way, but I think they did mention at some point they also Twilight Princess is one of the games they tested.
Yeah.
For working the HD, so it's
was
possible.
That Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
and since they're already doing Majora's Mask for the 3DS, I guess it would make sense that the more powerful game they would try for the Wii U.
Yeah. So. Apparently some people were like, so Game Explained that they've done like 3 or 4 videos on it. And I was just sitting there thinking, I'm like, do y'all not remember when they already talked about this like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
This ain't really. Why is this serious now?
It's that ADD stuff, man. I was talking about. And forget that stuff.
Yeah, but anyway. On a brighter note, I'm actually looking forward to it. I wouldn't mind it, but my question would be this: do you think they're gonna do like have both controls? Because remember, it came out on the GameCube and on the Wii.
Yep.
And the Wii had motion controls, but the GameCube actually you can use the GameCube controller.
Right.
So, do you think if they do this, which I'm not saying they are or they aren't, but if they do this, you think they're gonna marry up both of them so you can just pick which one you want?
Can I answer this first?
Yeah.
All right. I would say no. I say it's going to be the GameCube version, basically mapped onto the Wii U gamepad, because it's already difficult enough for the mass Wii U audience, because you have to expect them to have Wii remotes and nunchucks, and obviously they didn't put that in the box, so which is something they should have done from the beginning. Right.
Yeah, they really should have had that in there. At least one.
Yeah,
at least one.
From the beginning. If they're gonna call something the Wii something, they should have the Wii controls in there. But anyway, yeah, I think it's gonna be the GameCube version as far as the controls of it, and I think it's a good idea because I said this that Twilight Princess is actually my least favorite 3D Zelda game, and I put that on the Game Explained video actually.
Yeah, I saw it.
Somebody didn't understand what I meant by 3D. I meant by a game in 3 dimensions, and not stereoscopic 3D. So, basically, 3D. As far as being able to walk around in 3 dimensions.
It's not a 3/4 overhead view, basically.
Right. Whoever you are, sir, that could not understand that's what I meant. But
some people just. Sorry.
Yeah.
Continue.
I was just saying it was my least favorite one. There were things about it that I liked a lot. Obviously, the character Midna, the Twilight Realm, I thought was awesome. I liked the story, but it wasn't my favorite. That's not to say it was terrible. I liked it a lot. I still liked it. It's just if I had to rank it, it would be my least favorite one. But I think they should definitely go with that. And me saying that is what I'm trying to get at is that I only played through it once. So I don't remember it that much as far as all the little nuances in the game.
I'm the same way.
It's going to be like almost brand
new for
a new experience a little bit because.
So you didn't like the blatant ripping of Lord of the Rings in it?
No.
There's like 4 scenes from Lord of the Rings that's in that game. Dude.
Yeah, I just remembered that that one creature you actually fight is a Balrog.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just remembered that. I forgot all about that. But yeah, maybe that's one of the reasons it's so kind of forgettable. Some of it to me because it.
God, you guys are such major nerds.
But that's what everybody wanted, though. They wanted.
Yeah, that's what they wanted.
No, it was good for the time. I got that.
For the time it was good. You got to remember, what it was. Return of the King had just dropped.
Right.
When that game came, because it dropped like the year before. So right when the game dropped, I think the extended edition just came out.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it was perfect timing. Perfect timing.
Yeah.
That game to me, I think that the dungeons were a little bit out of order. One of the very last dungeons of that game gives you one of the coolest items and allows you to travel so fast anywhere where you want to go that you don't even need the horse anymore. And I really hate that item. I really hate that item was one of the last ones you get.
That's one of the things that one of the few things I agree with you explain about. They had some really cool items that it was almost a waste. It's like you give us this cool thing, we use it for like how long, and then that's it.
Yes.
I think that game wasn't ready. I think they had more stuff there, and they were probably going to flesh out the overworld with, how they normally do in a Zelda game, where there's 50 million things to do with these items in the main world, and that's your way to collect extra heart pieces or whatever.
Well, maybe that's I
think that's what happened to Zelda U.
And stuff out because they had a whole section where Zelda turned into Sheik to actually aid Link.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. The game was
stuff out. That's why he laughed at people when they was talking about like he don't let Zelda be played. We were like, you have no idea.
We already did that. We just didn't make the final cut.
Yeah,
and that's what I'm hoping is that this is going to be like the director's edition of Twilight, so we get all the full content.
That would be awesome.
I would buy that in a heartbeat, physical and digital, just to support Nintendo.
Yeah. Like
with regards to Zelda,
thing about the Wii controls.
Okay, no, I'm talking garbage now, but you know what I mean.
It was like the arrow and being able to shoot, and that was beautiful. And you can replace that using the Wii U gamepad. You can the precision. So
gyroscope for the win.
Exactly. So I hope that it's a real thing. I hope that they actually are working on this. I would be pretty excited.
Just the map is enough for me.
Oh man, the map. Yeah.
Give me the map. I'm good. But I guess that thing. The Zelda thing,
graphics, because I'm gonna lie, it's slightly muddy.
Well, it's gonna be HD. They're gonna be.
They're gonna clean it up.
I'm kind of actually salivating about the whole playable Zelda thing, because just being able to have a slight vision of being in her shoes in Skyward Sword kind of it
was a tease. It was like, come on.
Yeah, and it's like, man, this girl does a lot of shit while you're out doing what you need to do.
And you're like, well, I want to go see what she's doing over there.
Yeah.
Hyrule Warriors made it worse.
Oh, boy, did
I was going to say, okay, you guys, we're all on the same page. Keep going.
Hyrule Warriors, like, just blew that the top of the thermometer off on that stuff.
But I'm sorry, misogyny. Women, they're just helpless damsels in distress.
Right.
Oh, you think
let's watch Zelda helplessly destroy a ton of enemies.
Yeah.
Because Link could totally handle Ganon by himself. Not.
Yeah. never mind the fact that a child empress decides to intentionally get captured so she can disguise herself to fight other things, while this guy decides to become courageous enough to fight the evil demon so they can seal him away.
Lives her life for years in hiding as a ninja.
Damn ninja.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's craziness. Like,
hashes out a plan with the old hag to make it work. Like, what?
It's called the Legend of Zelda for a reason. It's not the Legend of Link.
Exactly.
Okay.
Link really ain't the main character when you think about it.
No, he's not. It's her story.
Yeah, and I think what was funny about it was like nobody ever really remembers, and they actually covered that in Twilight Princess. Nobody ever really remembers Link. That's who the old guy, the ancient warrior is. Right. They don't remember him.
They don't remember him. He's just some ancient warrior who did something.
It's Zelda. They remember Zelda. They don't remember his ass.
Right.
Nobody ever does. So
who? What are you talking about?
In Twilight Princess, that skeleton guy you fight.
Yeah.
I was kind of fucking with you
Link.
guys.
It's an older version of Link.
I was messing with you guys, but anyway.
I take it as far back as Link to the Past.
Link to the Past. Yeah.
Yes,
Man.
yes.
Nobody knows who Link is. Link is just an unassuming character. Everybody knows who Ganon is. Everybody knows who Zelda is. Everybody knows who Hylia is.
Yeah,
or
they don't know who Link is.
Hylia, however you want to pronounce it. Everybody knows who those entities are. So it's just kind of, everybody knows where the Sacred Realm is, apparently, or they at least heard of the Sacred Realm. So it kind of anybody with, I guess, with a little bit of critical thinking there can see that it's a little bit more than what the title lets on.
Yeah.
Well, if you call yourself a gamer and you don't see that, you're a fraud. Like, it's plain and simple.
You and Shadow throwing some serious blows tonight.
I mean, I'm just saying, there's a certain person out there.
I'm not
like herself an advocate.
For the record, okay, let me just clear up. I think the same messed up shit too. I'm just trying to be nice. You guys are just.
Hey, look, man, I'm taking it back to the hood, man. Make them take them. If you got Skittles, you get the ball back.
You know what I'm saying?
In the case of Zelda, they have a point because the person that we're talking about really should have kept her mouth shut.
Well, she likens herself an a gamer and obviously a spokesperson for gaming and women in gaming.
Is it a kid
you are a gamer?
I don't know who you're talking about now.
You would realize that this person is full of crap because.
Is this the person who speaks to the UN?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Enough said.
She made a video saying that
in gaming.
Yeah.
I was done with Hitman. I was done with that.
Well, yeah, well.
Yeah, silence is golden.
But yeah, so actually, if they do it, I'm all for it. I ain't gonna lie, I'll get it day one. If it's HD of Twilight Princess, I'll get it day one. Mm-hmm. Now I will say this: as much as I enjoyed that final boss fight, it's still not my favorite. My favorite final boss fight,
though. The dungeon too, though.
Yeah. But my favorite final boss fight has to go to Skyward Sword, Link versus Demise.
I mean, you can't top that. It's hard to top.
Wait, stop. I've never finished Skyward Sword.
Okay, we're not gonna get into it.
My brother had the game. I played it over by him. I got to get my own copy.
I'm sorry.
His words alone.
If you start playing that game, it is in your best interest to finish it because that is the whole reason.
I fully intend to get that game. I just have a ridiculously large backlog, but believe me, I enjoy that game.
Put that in front of your backlog. That should be.
Put that in front.
If you could start that game,
I will play it before I get Zelda Wii U. I promise you that, and I'll finish it before then too.
If you could start that game from the last dungeon, I would recommend that to people. Just start it from the last dungeon, beat the game, and then don't play anything else because that's worth the whole. I'm not saying the rest of that is bad. I'm just saying that the build up to that last part is so damn good. It's.
Yeah, it is.
Plus, those graphics are pretty good towards the end.
Yeah,
it's a pretty game. It holds up too.
Things that happen and the stuff that Demise says, you like, dude, this dude is the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just what he says once you quote unquote defeat him. That's worth it alone.
Like, I accidentally caught snippets of that by accident, seeing my brother play it. So. Demise that dude is something special.
That's why I always want him to come. The people look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, dude, I want him to come back for a reason.
He's got to come back.
Yeah.
That's a cold.
Even if he doesn't come back though, that explanation is so worth it.
It makes sense.
And Legend of Groose at this point.
I would love to see him as an iteration at least of a final battle with Ganon, one of the forms or something. That would be.
Yeah, that would. Yeah.
So you've got Aghanim. What's the other wizard? That was in the Shadow dude. I'm trying to think what game that was. Yeah, Zant, and then you have whoever the bad guy was. Who's the bad guy in was it Spirit Tracks? I thought it was one of those. There's another.
You actually play Spirit Tracks? Is that worth getting? Out of curiosity.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
So there are multiple alter egos.
Yeah.
that carry on and echo everything that Demise is saying towards the end of that
Right.
game.
Okay, so it actually is a good game because it seemed kind of gimmicky, so I left it alone. Spirit Track.
No, it's a good game.
It's not gimmicky, dude.
So here's my thing. I'm wondering how this is in Japanese because Nintendo tends to be upon the notion that they stumble upon making this game and they make it more about the experience more so than creating lore until they were forced to make that damn book. So I'm wondering if this is more of tree houses basically trolling us because they start getting real specific about certain things when they decide to translate these games, and I don't think that's actually there in the original Japanese text. They start pointing at stuff and they're like, yeah, because the name of this person over here, that was the name of a town in Zelda 2. They're actually a sage, and they stopped the imprisoning war. So when Zelda had to go into hiding in the shadows in Twilight Princess, that meant that in another alternate dimension, she was doing this. And like, really, come on, man. Like, I don't.
I got an off-air question for you guys.
Ganon's abused in his childhood. Like what?
Shadow, the only thing that you really kind of need to know is like the Ocarina of Time story. That stuff. That I know that was straight up Miyamoto and Aonuma.
Oh yeah.
Got some stone stuff, like finding out about the Shikai that got betrayed and how he pretty much ate shit on the royal family. You know, all that stuff. That's the stuff that I usually go from because that's straight from them.
Yeah.
So
that part alone is friggin' that pulls you in.
Now that didn't change because they actually had to create artwork and all the other kind of stuff to make that happen. But it seems like all the stuff they touch on here from there is just like people at the treehouse are like, we about to get them, and they're gonna play this game, and we're gonna throw all these little tidbits because they can add whatever they want really as long as it sticks to the
Because the way I see it, like the handheld games are kind of like the spin-offs, and like everything from Ocarina of Time back, actually you can actually connect to it. It makes sense, except for the handheld games.
That Link's Awakening though. That was so Link's Awakening. That game was about Link.
Yeah, that game was about Link. Yeah.
That game that let you know exactly who he was as a character by the end of that game.
Yeah.
That was definitely an eye-opening experience for something that kind of looks unassuming. By the time you go through the rest of that game, there's a lot of stuff to be said about that individual, that nameless, faceless hero of time.
Yo, this is a podcast in itself.
Yeah.
All we need is Triforce Johnson now. We'll be on here for another 9 hours.
Oh man,
Seriously. Right. Hey, I just got I don't mean to break up the flow here, but I just got a suggestion from one of my subs. He says that he thinks the gamers at large, folks, us obviously, should play some submitted Mario Maker levels, and I think that's a great idea. We should like make it like a Mario Maker Monday or something, and we just we'll go through and play our subscribers' levels and put them up on the channel.
Dig it. That sounds fun.
What do you think about that?
I need to get a capture card though. That's one thing I've been slacking on. I should go get one.
I have to be the exception to the rule on this because that is a holiday acquisition, if you will.
Me too, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, so I have to.
Well, I was thinking about picking mine up tomorrow.
Too, so.
Yeah, that in that weak you can't. They don't have it built in like the other consoles. So I guess it'll just be me. So submit your level in the comment section if you want to.
Yeah, actually do that because
you can probably get Jamie into that too because he's hooked on that
Jamie's
game.
got some sick levels I've been meaning to get at. I just haven't had time.
So yeah, just leave them in the comment section.
Yeah,
or
do that.
Post it in the community.
Post it to the community, post it to Facebook, whatever, and Mr. T will get at them, and eventually these other fools their capture cards, and they can get on it too. So
I say mention me on it too, and then once all this gets done or whatever, and then I'll set up my stuff, and then I can stream it as well. I just need to have the actual game in question, and that won't be until
because I'm not getting mine until probably after Christmas, so I do. Yeah.
So it'll just be me.
Until
Christmas.
I wasn't planning on getting that game till much later this year, simply because I could tell that game is a time sink.
Yeah. Last thing we're gonna talk about before we get out. It's October and it's almost Halloween, and we got 2 games that I found out this past week: Fatal Frame for Wii U, and Friday the 13th is coming back.
So I heard.
Yeah.
Oh, there's also another game. I just saw it the other day. It's
Friday the
weird,
13th.
creepy stuff. They just had it on the Treehouse too.
The NES game?
No,
it's
another. They had the teaser trailer like this week. I think it was on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot who's making it though. But yeah, your boy Jason Voorhees is back in video game form.
Wow. All I know is that game is an instant purchase for me. If they resurrected LJN to be the developer.
Oh man, LJN, I'm all in.
But with Fatal Frame hitting, I think if Fatal Frame hits next week, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
What's your favorite horror title of all time? I am getting Fatal Frame, by the way. Since Star Fox got pushed back, I'm gonna go and download Fatal Frame. So
of all time, man.
I know mine. Mine is easily Crow City of Angels for Saturn. That game was so terrible. That game was so frighteningly terrible.
I was gonna say, what does Superman 64 get in on this? It's not really that scary because all the fog is can't see anything. But
the fog, yeah, you might as well call it the game The Fog.
If that's the case, you put Fire Emblem Awakening on was it Lunacy?
Yeah, because that's a lot of murder.
And try to beat that game without any thing. And I wish you the best of luck. That's scary. Because I finally got the game.
Seriously, I think the game that had me the most shook was probably Silent Hill 2.
Silent Hill 2? Okay.
Yeah. I never played Silent Hill 2, but I remember playing Silent Hill. I thought I was a badass. I had a 6-pack of beer. I was a young Marine, and I was in the barracks, and it was pitch black in the room because if you're gonna go in, you go in.
Mm-hmm.
I think I panicked at one point, and one of my beers went flying across the room. And
wow.
No, for the record, it's not that it's super scary. It just I didn't expect
it's creepy.
it to be.
It's just creepy as hell.
Yeah, so when you hear like a random noise,
you
kind of do a small jump. What was that?
Well, the one that got me was Resident Evil 2. I'm not even gonna lie.
Resident Evil 2 was pretty,
Yeah.
Resident Evil 2 in the police station. That was some BS.
Yeah, you're right. That was frightening.
But see, they play on expectations too, though, because they're like, yeah, you'll be safe here. No, you won't.
No.
There's a giant alligator in the basement. What?
Yes.
Go take care of it.
Yeah.
So I guess for me, at the time, Resident Evil 4 was a different type of scary, because it was that whole fight for your life kind of deal, and you were like constantly always running to keep from getting your head lopped off.
Yeah.
And so that was a kind of adrenaline type that I don't think that's been replicated since. Resident Evil turned into a shooter basically after that.
They tried to do it in 5, but it didn't feel right.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. Number one, you had a partner, so that completely screwed it up. And it just wasn't. I don't know. It just wasn't the same. The only other game that, ironically, I would still say the LJN Friday the 13th, because Jason came out of nowhere and you were almost powerless for most of the game.
You know what?
Yeah.
Played Dead in the Dark too. That scared me as a kid.
What game you said?
Talking about the one made by Friday the 13th, the one made by LGN, is the Nintendo one?
Yeah, the NES one.
Yeah, the NES one. Yeah.
Playing as Debbie, throwing a rock about as far as your leg.
Because my cousin had the Nintendo. I didn't have a Nintendo as a kid, and we had this weird house, and it was 2 sections, and he lived downstairs. So when we go play the games in his room, 90% of the time the light was out, so we'd be sitting in this dark room playing video games. That's not a game to be playing in the dark when you're a kid.
No.
And to not get us be exposed as Nintendo fans, we're supposed to be Nintendo fans up in here, and to not mention this game would be sacrilegious. Eternal Darkness.
Oh,
Okay.
Well,
Here's my issue with Eternal Darkness. I had too much fun with that sanity meter.
I got you on that, but there were some sections with that the breathing and stuff.
And the bathtub.
Yeah,
that bathtub scared my cousin so hard.
Bro,
that opening sequence.
Get yourself a good entertainment system with surround sound.
Yeah, that's surround sound.
Surround sound in the dark, and that will mess with your mind. No joke.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. The one thing that scared the hell out of me about Eternal Darkness was the fact that sanity meter made me think my memory card was deleted.
that was a beautiful troll.
And I jumped across the coffee table trying to rip that thing out.
Now, so Saint Peter, these are all named after saints or whatever. He just happened to be a soldier in this this part of the game or whatever. His part, it ends up being a boss fight, but the lead up to that is like so. I don't know. I can't say scary, but it's just like shit's getting real, and the music started amping up, and it's like it's time.
And they got to turn into a zombie.
No, his fate is much worse than that.
I'm trying to, one of them. That's the one thing about that. There were so many good characters in that game. Because one of the guys was actually like you were going through his chapter, and he was actually turning it into a damn zombie.
Yeah, the whole time. That was who was that?
That was in no, you know what? That was in medieval England. That was Charlemagne. That was the guy.
Yeah, Charlemagne.
Yeah. Okay, never mind. I know who you're talking about now. Never mind.
So that whole part there, basically, I guess it's World War I.
Yeah, World War I. Yeah,
I guess. And he's going through, and he starts to find out that it's more than just a war going on outside. He's basically being led to stay inside for dark purposes or whatever. And it's the entire environment that they set up, because it gradually goes from being this pile of bodies supposedly from gunshot wounds and all this other kind of stuff, until you start seeing some real heinous shit. Like you start seeing like bits of pieces of people being eaten on, and you don't know how. You just see evidence of blood trails and stuff like that, and the music just completely amps up the entire time you start seeing more and more stuff. And that's not to say that the insanity stuff is still going on the whole time or whatever, and you're still trying to figure out what's going on. Without all that, it's still kind of like your heart starts thumping, because you start seeing everything. You're like, man, something ain't right. I don't know exactly how this is going to go, but I know it's going to end bad. And
does it end bad?
Yeah, it's real bad. But
but can we all agree that Buddy from Persia was the dumbest idiot in that game?
Yeah,
don't do that for a woman, and she was cheating on him anyway.
That's the worst.
Like, that's you idiot.
All for the heart of Mantaroth. I bet you needed it though. It all made sense towards the end.
Yeah, but before then, when you were first playing that game, you're like, you dumb mother.
Anybody beat it with all the different?
I did.
Yeah.
3 times.
I have to go back.
That ending's scary too, because that's
the actual
a lot of that's
the first time it got me. The very first time I did it, it got me, because I thought like you only had to beat like 2 of them, but you had to beat all 3 of them, you had to do all 3 of the artifacts, and then you get the true ending. And when you get the true ending, that first part of the true ending is scary as hell.
The last ending tells you exactly what's really going on at the beginning of the game is very important because of that. Yeah. So that's just so critical, and it's something that you would gloss over the entire time. That I put it like this: there's a mural,
and you miss it.
Yeah, you miss it. It shows everything that has already happened before, and you end up being part of that again, and they explain it to you towards the end of the game. No, I don't want to have any spoilers for anybody out there that haven't. Because that's a really good game, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody. If you don't have Eternal Darkness by now and you have a GameCube, what is wrong with you? Go find it somewhere. Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you like this right here, that game should have got a sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should have. But Nintendo didn't really publish it.
Well, the game didn't really sell that well on a system that didn't sell that well. It sold okay.
It's a freaking classic.
It's a classic.
At the time, I think the GameCube had around 10 million units out there at the time that it sold. So, yeah, I guess that's pretty good. 200,000 is pretty good for that back then, I guess. And
I thought it was at 5.
I think it was around 200,000 at that time, that year or whatever.
Yeah, you know, 2002.
Yeah, 2002.
Yeah.
So you gotta imagine that back then too, like selling 500,000 copies is, you made more than your money back.
Oh yeah, that's boss status right there.
Yeah. So now it's not. Now you're actually losing money in most of these. You sell
500K, you're closing doors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we do have a question from Anderson Archilla. He asks, why are people obsessed with HD remake of Twilight Princess? Don't people constantly rag on Nintendo for rehashing the same game? Now all of a sudden they want actual rehashes and remasters. Well, actually,
not all of a sudden, because all last generation we got HD remasters.
Yeah. But the only difference with this one is I don't think it would have been that bad if they hadn't said they were testing it. You know, they did test Twilight Princess. So they probably more than likely already got most of it done.
I don't have an issue with remakes per se or remasters.
I don't have an issue either.
I have an issue if it was like a game that came last gen, that came 4 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago.
I will allow it for one reason: it opens the door for GameCube software on the eShop.
Yeah, because my only thing is, as far as remakes and rehashes, I said, and I've said this on many other podcasts, if it's 6th gen and below, you're not going to hear a complaint from me.
Right, I'm not going to complain.
But if it's something that came out 3 years ago,
and that they do more than just like scale it to fit 1080p. They actually do what they did in like Wind Waker, where they fixed issues in the game, and they did remapping of the controls and all that stuff. Yeah, then we're talking. That's a remake. That's a remaster.
You know what? I wouldn't mind playing Twilight Princess with the Skyward Sword controls. You know how you can just hold your sword however you want when you run around in Skyward Sword?
1-to-1, yeah.
Yeah, if I could I wouldn't mind doing that. And
I don't know if they go that route. I really believe if this is true,
they're probably going to map it
100% it's going to be the GameCube version of it with the little bit of gamepad stuff thrown in, like I said, with the arrows.
So they can have the left hand.
Left-handed Link returns.
Right, left-handed Link returns. Because I never. That's another thing. I never played the GameCube version, so even the controls are going to be.
The entire game is flipped because he's left-handed.
Yeah.
The whole game is flipped. So, because apparently Miyamoto made a remark about like he prefers Link to be left-handed.
Yeah.
Which I thought was hilarious.
But the majority of people are right-handed, so you can't. Yeah, you got a game like that. You got to
do it 1-to-1 for them. Mm-hmm. But let's see. That's pretty much.
Gamers are a bunch of lazy punks. You should learn how to fight with left-handed in the game.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm pretty sure they can make it where you can. I never understood that either, though. They should have been. You could have been able to do that, but
they want it 1-to-1, so it'd be weird if you lift your right hand and he lifts his left.
Yeah.
What the hell is that?
Then now you're stuck in a situation where you have to have this dumbass menu when you first start your game. Are you right-handed or left-handed?
Yeah, I hate that.
That takes away from everything. So.
But that would be a nice fix, though, if they wanted to go.
I mean, honestly, in this day and age, they're more than capable of doing it.
Yeah, that to me it wouldn't seem like too much if they.
And it helps with the immersion for everyone involved. Because granted, there's more people right-handed. I'm sure it's awkward for the left-handed gamers.
But it's not fair. I mean, there are left-handed people in the world. It's not fair to them.
Look,
my fiance is left-handed.
What they need to do is go back to traditional controls. Jeez.
I want traditional controls with a traditional controller.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need that one joystick and the button.
I don't want to use the gamepad. I would like to use my Pro controller.
Yeah.
I would like to use my Classic Controller Pro. That I have to
I would like to use my Pro controller, which is literally just the gamepad minus the screen. I want that. I mean, it feels the same in my hand, but
There might be a little video from Mr. T coming on control and all that good stuff.
No, so you guys are too bougie. Just give me a joystick with one button. But of course, we're modern, so let's make it wireless with a gyroscope in it.
Oh no! You too modern with that, man. I'm taking old school. Give me my paddle. I need my paddle.
I want to be able to sit down. I want to come home from work.
170 degrees of motion.
I want to come home from work and play a game where I got to swing my hands around. I want to be able to sit back and just move my thumbs.
There you go. And look like a mongoloid.
And I wonder about why there's so many obese people in America.
Oh boy, they're gonna crucify us in the comments. So,
well, Shep gives no. Oh, sorry.
So I hope you guys enjoyed our midweek show. Be on the lookout Sunday for the for episode 77. Shep, you got anything you want to pimp out?
Same thing I said on Sunday. We got some good live talks coming up. I think the first topic we're gonna tackle is self-esteem and perception on life. I'm saying it wrong, but that's more or less what's coming out. So I'm looking forward to it. It's coming within the next week or so. I can't give a date because I'm trying to get at least 2 people. One of them is a specialist in psychology to jump in, but we'll see.
Okay.
And I got some game stuff coming too. So feel free to comment on my Google Plus if you have any ideas or anything. I'm more than welcome to let people join in if they can act like adults.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Well, I said we hardly do that here.
Well, you see, there's a misconception. What does an adult act like? That's one of the things we're going to tackle as well.
Ooh.
Good question. All right, Shadow, what you got? Did you want to pimp out?
Well, I'll be doing more hardware videos. I already mentioned that on Sunday in case you guys missed it. Also, I'll go ahead and make this public announcement now because a lot of people have been complaining about it. I will be doing a Shadowcast probably within the next 8 or 9 days. So if you would like to be part of the Shadowcast or you would like to view it live, yes, you can. I will be sending out invites to all that are interested. If you are not part of the normal crew that joins my Shadowcast, send me a PM and I will send you the link and we'll go from there and we'll have a very healthy discussion on a wealth of topics related to video games and computer technology if you like. And we can discuss that however you feel. We can do it over a cup of tea. We can do it over a beer or Bacardi break if you will. And eventually I would discuss how I've been doing podcasts before YouTube was invented, believe it or not. Some people think I just came out of nowhere, but I'll show you that. You check iTunes, you'll see what Shadowcast started from. It wasn't on YouTube. So, okay. Other than that, you can say my quote, Jay, because you said it last time.
No, you got it. You say it better than me. It doesn't flow as well when I
just shut up and play.
Yeah, shut up and play. And do you play games to have fun or to impress other people?
All right, T.
All right, fools. Great podcast. Got to do more of these. I feel like I've been missing the midweeks at least. But yeah, good discussions. I think this is one of the better ones. Because I'm up here, so.
So humble.
Let me help you pat your back while you're doing it too.
How'd you know I was doing that? My camera? No, but yeah, go check out my latest video. A little bit about my new format. I'm gonna be dropping soon. Hopefully, I can stick to a schedule, or I can just I want to put videos out between the days of Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I want to do at least 2 videos, if not 3, for all of those days, and it'll be kind of a weekly roundup video, and then one of my more mainstay videos like a tea talk or a tea time. I need to get back into my tea time commentaries. So be looking forward to that. And like I mentioned earlier, I have a video coming on Nintendo and gaming and their controls and controllers and all that good stuff. So I'm sure you'll enjoy that. But yeah, as I always say, play Nintendo, fools.
All right. And me, there is going to be a couple of gameplay vids coming up tomorrow. Don't forget, J&T's Fresh Take will be having a question and answer on Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So check us out. Bring your questions. We're gonna be jumping across a whole wealth of topics, including stuff with X-Men and Bryan Singer's lack of vision.
Sounds golden.
Look,
he's talking about Vision from Marvel, not.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
We're talking about Ivan Ooze. But yeah, just join us on Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be doing our very first Q&A, and I'll see you guys back here on Sunday. Peace out.
Now we gotta say something stupid before they cut it off. We gotta do it. Say something.